So he says, if your brother sins against you, you go and reprove him. Oh, you guys don't understand that word. And you want to go and use that as a weapon. Okay? Reprove, definition is to convince with solid, compelling evidence. Reprove is not to correct and smack necessarily the way you want to say. Oh, I need to go and reprove him. No, go to that person and try to convince them with solid, compelling evidence. Make a strong case for your issue. I really don't appreciate what you did to me, and this is why. Okay? Or this is why I'm upset with you right now because you did this, this, and this, and bring compelling evidence. Remember, you got this verse about 2 to 3 witnesses coming up. The witnesses are there for what? To witness the evidence. He says, bring 2 or more witnesses. And why? Because we know from the Torah, anytime that you're dealing with a debate over an issue between people, you should have witnesses. Now, in this case, he's not saying bring witnesses to what happened, okay? Now, we have a different problem here. You should have already brought witnesses if you needed to make your case in the first place. He says go to your brother alone. If you need to, then you can say, look, other people were there. I can go get them involved. That's not what this is talking about. This is dealing with your brother not hearing you, okay? Your brother doesn't hear you, then you want to make sure that you bring respected people of good reputation, unbiased, with you, who are going to watch you make your case to your brother so that you now have a witness that you at least made the effort, okay? They were there to witness you doing what you did. Again, I say to you that if 2 or 3 on earth concerning any matter that they ask, it shall be done for them by my Father in heavens. That verse is taken out all by itself to basically say 2 or 3 people believe in Messiah, they can ask for anything and the Father has to do it, like rubbing the genie bottle or something, okay? I'm sorry, but this verse flowed right after the other 4 verses that we read. And it's saying that when there's a situation, if it's brought ultimately to the assembly, that whatever they decide, if it's proper judgment, proper people doing the things, we'll understand Deuteronomy 17, then it is authorized from above. And it says that when 2 of you agree on earth regarding settling by Torah the right rulings, we're going to read that in Deuteronomy 17, he says that on any matter of dispute, it shall be done for them by my Father in the heavens. See, all of this stuff in the New Testament is almost useless to you, almost, if you don't know the Tanakh. And when I say almost, it's because, yes, you may understand some of it, but it will be useless to you because you won't know what to do with it, because to understand what's being said and what is, okay, you know what it says when your brother goes to you, if he doesn't hear you? You're not hearing what Yahweh's saying if you don't have the Old Testament as a base, because you're reading the New Testament and don't understand what he's talking about. Because you can't. You cannot understand what's going on right here. You cannot understand Matthew 18 without a Tanakh understanding. Now, of course, most of the time when strife doesn't get fixed is because each person thinks they're right. Nobody wants to give in and nobody wants to yield or own that they might be wrong. So it takes somebody to say, okay, here's my judgment. You're wrong, you need to stop that, or you're wrong, you need to stop this, or you needed to do that, but you didn't, so now you need to go make it right. Whatever it is, you need somebody to make that judgment. The kinds of stuff that was constantly being brought to David when he was king, or Solomon when he was king, these are all things that are not implicitly or explicitly expressed. Remember that woman with the baby? And the other one had their baby die? And they're fighting over the baby? There's no Torah specific for that. But you had to go to somebody to try to figure out the right way to handle this, or to figure out what the truth was. And so there are these kinds of disputes that we always have. The Son of Adam has come to save what was lost. By the way, you got to go listen to the Are You Saved teaching. You got to understand what that means to save what is lost. Okay? You can't look through the Christian lens of lost, meaning you're doomed to hell or something. That is not what this is about. Okay? When you're seeking something that's lost, it's something that you had. All right? You never see anybody looking for their glasses if they don't own glasses. People with glasses, you find them looking for them all the time. What's the matter? I lost my glasses. All right? My father would lose them and they would be right here on his head. I can't find my glasses. We belong to Yeshua, yes or no? Okay. And there are those that are sheep that have gone astray. Nobody, this is going to make you mad, nobody who has not been bubble popped, covenanted, and called out, in literal sense, can go astray. There's nothing to go astray of if you don't know what you're supposed to do. Do you understand that? Oh, that doesn't mean they're not doing horrible, sinful things, so to speak, or evil things or some other horrible thing. But to go astray means you had to know what to do, and then you left. You went off in the wrong direction. That sheep was part of a herd going straight, and then it went astray. So again, we're not seeking the lost, meaning all the worldly people that are just sinfully doing whatever. He's seeking those whom were his that have gone astray. And by the way, in doing so, the message gets out to everybody, the whomsoever wills will come. Nowhere in the Bible is there tension between the two. First of all, law is the law, and grace is a concept that has to do with meriting favor, not unmerited favor. Go listen to the teaching. But in this video, okay, it basically lays out, and this is because we're talking about here that if you do well. The video makes a statement or claim that, well, you know, in the beginning, in the Tanakh, there was the law, and you know, the people tried real hard, but it was they just couldn't do it. And so God realized that, and he sent his son and, you know, gave us grace. All right, do you realize how insulting that is to the Creator? That you're saying that he made a 4,000-year mistake and gave people something they couldn't do because they did the best they could and failed. You know what? I have a book too. Everybody that did the best they could didn't fail, they succeeded. And its desire is for you, but you should master it. Now, I want to reword that a little bit. It's your desire that has sin crouching at the door. It's not that sin has a desire for you. This is, again, a bad translation that tries to make it sound like that an outside thing is doing things to you. Your desire has sin sitting at the door. In other words, it's just waiting to be pointing at you, saying, well, you breached. You breached. It's right there. Sin is crouching at the door is like saying it's imminent. It's not like it's like literally this thing sitting there watching you. You're right there heading down we talk to people how you're heading on a path to destruction. You're heading on a path to this or that. That's what he's saying is, if you're going to let your desire not match my desire, but be your fleshly desire, you're going to head directly, imminently, right into sin. You're going to breach relationship. Do you understand that these are people who fall into possibly two categories? I want to say this, likely they're in two categories. They're disobedient, one category, because they listened to empty words and believed it. So they don't think they're being disobedient. Law's been done away with. It was nailed to the cross. You know, that was the old, this is the new. All these things were changed and done away with. Oh, that video I was watching also talked about how the sacrifices ended with Yeshua. No, they didn't. They ended when the temple got destroyed. And everybody who was a first century believer, from the time Yeshua died till the temple was destroyed, went and did temple service. They made their sacrifices. It did not stop. That's a lie out of Christianity. Okay? He says the other category is those that just willfully are disobedient because they just don't want to do it.